February 24th, 2026, Clean Water Services Board of Directors meeting. Thank you. Do I need to start over? Okay. Clerk Hodges, could you do us the formal honors, please?
Absolutely. The Board of Directors for Clean Water Services is meeting in this regular session on February 24th, 2026. Director Snyder?
Here.
Director Treese?
Here.
Chair Harrington?
Here, and we are expecting Director Willie online. Is he there yet?
Not yet, Chair Harrington. I am monitoring the Zoom, and I'll add him as soon as he arrives.
Terrific. Thank you very much. And Director Fye is excused as she is attending the National Association of County Officials, NACO, conference in Washington, D.C. Okay, the next item on the agenda is our first public comment period. Do we have anyone, our first of one, do we have anyone who wishes to come in to share their thoughts with the board tonight?
There is no one who signed up ahead of time. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to come and make a public comment for up to 3 minutes for any Clean Water Services related items? I'm not seeing any hands, Chair Harrington.
Thank you. Next, we have tonight's consent agenda, which consists of 2 different items. Minutes from our February 10th meeting, and then the second is to approve a second amendment to the contract with Government Portfolio Advisors, LLC, for the investment advisory services. What are the wishes of the board regarding tonight's consent agenda?
I move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve tonight's consent agenda. All those in favor, please vote by raising your hand or saying aye. Thank you, directors. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously 3-0. Next, we'll move on to our action items. And the first one is a big one. Here you are, Mr. Shanley. To adopt a resolution and order affirming the completion of all actions in Resolution and Order 25-5 to audit spending, review policies and plans, conduct a domicile review, restrict executive management team expenditures, and provide training. So, Mr. Shanley, I know we have a staff presentation. Over to you.
Yep, I'll be presenting tonight. Good evening, Clean Water Services Board of Directors. I'm really happy to bring this forward. I think it's clearly a major milestone for the district and for the board. And I want to thank you all for providing a really clear roadmap and expectations on our approach. It made my job a lot easier, as it did for the district staff as well. I'm confident we've met all the goals of the R&O, but I do want to make it clear we're continuing to look at ways to further enhance transparency and really improve on the gains that we've made. I want to thank the staff at Clean Water Services for their support and their resilience through this time. In particular, I need to shout out to our finance team, our legal team, our comms team. They did a lot of the heavy lifting in making this happen. So on April 8th, the resolution and order was adopted. Yeah. Oh, either I need a, yeah, or someone, thank you, Joe. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt
No,
you, but
that's
I
a good
wanted to make sure
interruption.
you had the clicker to drive the slides. Thank you.
There we go. So April 8th was when this was adopted. So it's been about a 10-month process with numerous checkpoints along the way. I think since I've been involved, we've had 6 work sessions. So there's been a lot of work that's gone into this, a lot of dialogue and a lot of support. I want to thank Director Willie. He was our board liaison for the forensic investigation into training, travel, and meals. I also want to thank Director Snyder. He's currently our liaison as we look at the captive insurance company and the redomestication of that. So the topics listed here in the 5 categories, I'll go through each one. So with respect to general fiscal accountability, we did hire an outside auditor to do a fiscal and performance audit for training, travel, and meals. I'll point out that we actually went back and expanded the scope of that to make sure it was fully robust and comprehensive. It took a little bit longer, but that was important from our perspective. The item 2 talks about the monthly reports that are done by our general counsel and our chief compliance officer. I think that, again, really demonstrates our willingness and need to provide transparency to the board, so you can see that we are continuing to do the work that needs to be done with respect to that. We did provide training, as outlined in item 3, for all the employees with respect to compliance. I think it's really important to note, though, this was really centered on executive spending, and as you review this presentation, a lot of the outcomes of this were really focused on executive spending, not the day-to-day training and meals for the frontline staff. With respect to travel, we did look at the process and develop written guidelines for allowable training and travel. We updated the policies. We have a very strict procedure in place to review all of those requests, reject any that are non-compliant. We've caught a few, but that number has gone down over time as folks get more familiar with the process. I think I do want to point out, in addition to the points on the slide, this investment in training and travel is really critical for the success of Clean Water Services and our organization. It's key for learning, retention, and recruitment of staff. And it's really key. We're a very technical organization, and being out there and having that ability and getting the support of the board for the budget to do training and travel so that we can adopt technology, it pays off in rates. With respect to meals and refreshments, again, we have a new policy that's in place. We no longer reimburse local meals by the executive management team, absent any compelling circumstances such as an emergency. None of those have existed to date. We've made it very clear to keep account of all meals. There's one single code in the budget for all of Clean Water Services, so it's very transparent in where those things are being spent. Having this clarity really allows us to provide equity across the district with respect to meals and refreshments. Clean Water Insurance Company. So I will point out that the training and travel policy for district staff are largely implementing a similar situation for those involved in the Clean Water Insurance Company. We did complete an expedited domicile review, and we are in the process of redomesticating Quick from Hawaii to Arizona. I am happy to report we're still on track for that. Director Snyder and myself met, and we reviewed the draft operating agreement. There are some really good points in there that will make transparency to the board much more accessible in the future, as well as some policies that are in there would prevent certain things from occurring again that we do not want to have happen with respect to some training and travel pieces. With respect to our commitment to maintain trust, at the request of the board and the chair, I think, we did have Clean Water Essentials, some additional events taking place. Those are outstanding to meet with our elected officials and city staff. The State of the Partnership meetings that we had with the mayors and councils were excellent. We got a lot of great feedback. That's the start of transparency with those folks. We've got rate meetings coming up. And with respect to the general, our public and our ratepayers, really the website has been a focus of improving information through press releases, blogs, FAQs, budget documents, and we are also in the process of revamping that. So with that, our requested action is to adopt the resolution in order. Are there any questions or?
Well, let me turn it over to the board now and see if they have any questions or comments before we take action. Oh, and Director Willey has joined us as well. I wanted to make sure that was clear. So over to you, directors. Go ahead, Director Treese.
I just want to say thank you very much for this hard work. And you called out a number of different people that have been instrumental and groups that have been instrumental in this work. I also want to thank you personally. for taking on the role of interim, for helping us through all of this piece, and I will be happy to support this. I am proud that we have done together all of this work, and I think it speaks volumes to our employees as well as to the public. So thank you for your work. Thank you for everybody who is at Clean Water Services. We've got a new day, and it's a good day.
I would echo what Director Treese just said, but also add that I really appreciated your acknowledgement of our frontline staff and the fact that that was not the focus of particularly the folks involved in doing the day-to-day work of conveying stormwater and sewer, that I think many of them felt at times under a microscope for reasons that didn't have anything to do with what they did, and I just appreciate that you acknowledge that. I hope they recognize that acknowledgement too, and that while there were things that needed to be done for the organization, they were not the focus of, nor the, they were not involved in conduct that was, that we know of that was concerning. So I appreciate you recognizing that as a leader.
Director Willie, any questions or comments you'd like to add?
I'd just like to say sorry I'm late, and no, I don't have any comments.
All right, thank you. I hope you joined us at the time of hearing appreciation from Rick on the very first slide, and how you did work with regard to the travel, meals, and refreshments policy. So that was very helpful. I would like to say I concur with my colleagues' comments. I also want to thank you for your presence in addition to your diligence. You have made yourself very available to our various partners, and that includes active participation in the Service District Managers meeting. That had been lost over the years, and you really stepped forward and picked that back up. And the reason we're really here is to memorialize, not just for our leadership staff and our employees who are vital to providing this public service and protecting the health of the Tualatin River, but also our commitment to our ratepayers and to the community, to really memorialize that the commitments have been achieved, promises made, promises kept. And this is a stellar organization that will continue to provide reliable service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, no matter the challenges that are presented, both in terms of operations as well as continued permit compliance, all to the benefit of our community and to the health of the Tualatin River that is so precious to all of us. And with that, I would ask for a motion to adopt the resolution and order affirming the completion of all actions outlined in Clean Water Services Resolution and Order 25-5. Audit spending, review policies, conduct a domicile review of Clean Water Insurance Corporation, restrict executive management team expenditures, and provide training, and continue its commitment to maintaining trust.
I move to adopt the resolution in order.
I second it.
All those in favor of adopting this resolution in order, please raise your hand. Thank you, directors. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously 4-0. Congratulations. Thank you very much. As a capstone, would you like to get a picture with your staff here tonight as well as yourself?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, we just need somebody to take the picture for us. Clerk Hodges is able to do that. So do you have your phone? It's right a better here. Quality one.
Right here. Oh, fancy camera.
Oh, Chuck to the rescue. Okay, next we will move on to our second action item, to approve the international, whew, faux pas there, to approve the intergovernmental agreement with the City of Hillsborough to provide recycled irrigation water to Rood Bridge Park. And this is part of our second generation. Water reuse is a really big investment and an important partnership with one of our city partners. So turn it over to our expert staff, and thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm going to introduce Jared, who's going to do the bulk of this presentation, but I do want to just say two quick things. One, it's been a little journey to get to this point. We're really happy that we're finally to a point where we see this project come to fruition with Hillsborough, and I think it's a project that will hopefully lead to more projects in Hillsborough with the city. I know we're talking to the school district, and there are other opportunities as we expand reuse out of our Rock Creek facility. But with that, I will let Jared give the bulk of the presentation. So,
thanks, Joe. Glad to be here. Hello, everyone. Saturday, February 21st, I celebrated my 15-year anniversary working for Clean Water Services. I'm proud of that. I have 15 years to go in my career, and I intend to stick around and expand our recycle water program. I've been at this for a while. It's not been an easy program to expand, but we're making headway. And that's a good thing for our community and our river and our partners. Let's see. Here we go. This thing's got a little delay. A little context. We've been doing recycled water for a very long time, since 1991. It's always been a regulatory driver for us. It seems like the right thing to do, but obviously we need a driver besides it feels good. So it's always been a regulatory strategy of ours. The Tualatin is a sensitive river. We have to be very careful what we discharge to it. We have increasing population. Climates are changing. Regulations are increasingly getting harder. I would say that we've done a really good job of being creative when it comes to our water resource management here in the basin. First ever watershed-based permit. We've done some very innovative, creative things. When you think about recycled water in the rest of the country, you don't think about making beer. You don't think about using it for ecological restoration. We're doing things in the true Clean Water Services fashion, doing things outside the box of the normal. Most recycled water is for drinking water supply, agricultural demand. We have a little different story here. It's an interesting one. We get a lot of national attention for what we're doing with our recycled water program. But it is based in foundation of partnerships. Hillsborough being a very large partner of ours, and one that we've been trying to partner with for a long time. We have lofty goals. We want to get up to 15 million gallons a day. We do about 2 million gallons a day currently, so we need partners to do that. But we've derived some interesting approaches, and I see the program expanding and really good things going on. There's numerous benefits. This is a triple bottom line home run. When we think about recycled water, we think about community benefits, we think about environmental benefits, we think about economic benefits. There's lots of things embedded within expanding the recycled water program through watershed protection, conserving potable water supply. Temperature compliance is our driver, okay? It's a water quality strategy. A lot of the natural areas in these urban environments have been impacted, and this is a tool to restore their function. And we are uniquely positioned with the only utility in the basin to be able to provide this resource. And I say resource intentionally. Recycled water is a resource. It's not a waste. It's not something we're trying to get rid of. We want to use it for good. Climate impact resilience and protection of our habitat and our salmonid species. Rood Bridge Park is a great opportunity. Proximity, 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 okay? The expensive part of the expansion of the recycled water program is pipelines. And it's all things we do. Pipelines are really expensive. When partners come to me, my first question is, how close are you to one of our treatment plants? Okay, well, as you can tell from the photo there, Rood Bridge Park is a neighbor of ours. and a valued partner from a city partner. So it's been something that we've talked about for a long time. We've been through different leadership at Clean Water Services, through different leadership through Hillsborough, and trying to get this done. But here we are. The one thing I think we need to focus on is the current state and the future state. I don't know if we need to really talk much about the past, but we're here today. We're going to get this done. And I would say there's enthusiasm on both partners. Hillsborough's excited about it. We're excited about it. I would refer to this as a pilot project. This is the first of many. Okay, we're going to see how the community responds, reacts, and embraces using the right water supply for the right intended use. I think it's going to be a hit and a home run, and people are going to get it. This hits their hearts and it hits their pocketbooks, and I think if you hit people in both places, you're going to be successful. And the Recycle Water program is clearly one of those things that can talk to both aspects of environmental, human health, and cost savings. So we're excited. Been looking forward to coming and talking to you guys about this for a long time. Just a quick overview of some of the other areas that we're expanding to and currently doing. This is the reuse out of the Rock Creek Basin, which is our biggest thermal impact on the river, where we're trying to expand recycled water the most. In 2024, we built a pipeline down to the Reserve Golf Course, which takes over 1 million gallons a day. So that is 1 million gallons a day of thermal load that's not going in the river. It's a great partnership. It's a three-way partnership between Tualatin Valley Irrigation District, Clean Water Services, and the Reserve, where every partner won. Everyone is a winner in that one. And then you see two district-owned properties we refer to as Dairy Creek, or the Davis Tool property, and then Coyote Hill, or the one in Jackson Bottom. We have multiple names for multiple properties. We'll work on cleaning that up. But those are large former agricultural properties that we're going to restore habitat and function with recycled water application. We're going to be working on those two projects over the next several years. But the pipeline has already built the Rood Bridge Park. We have one small project that we'll be doing here in the next few months to make sure we're separated from the potable supply. And we intend to do irrigation this summer. We've got some communications that we need to work on, but we're currently working lockstep with Hillsborough on that right now. So yeah, as I mentioned, we've got this $70,000 project. It's really just to secure protection of the potable water supply. Most of the recycled water projects we have don't interact with potable supply. Most of them go to golf courses, go to a pond, or go directly to a park. This is one of the first projects where it's like, oh, okay, we want to protect potable supply. That's good partnership. So we're doing this project. Joe negotiated with the city to split those costs, which I think was a very good middle ground. And then we negotiated a very fair price and a nominal annual increase. That's where all new customers start. We did a rate study in 2014 looking at rates in California and came up with that cost. That's a very competitive cost. That really covers our O&M. As I remind leadership all the time, expansion of the recycled water program is not an enterprise for Clean Water Services. This is a water quality strategy. We are not trying to make money. Okay, that covers the cost for us to produce and distribute this water, cover some of the capital cost. And with that, I'll take any questions or comments and request you guys approve this IGA with Hillsborough.
Jared, you do such a great job. Can you remind the board and anyone that might be watching what it costs Hillsborough currently to put drinking water? Do you recall what that was?
To water their...
To water the Rood Bridge Park?
Not off the top of my head the exact amount, but potable water, they've historically used potable water, which I believe is somewhere around $5 or $6 a CCF is the unit. That's 100 cubic feet. The dollar we're charging would be the same unit. So very, very competitive.
So as you said, a win-win-win at the golf course. It's a win for the city of Hillsborough as well.
It saves that drinking water.
Yep.
It conserves potable supply and also saves money because instead of buying potable water, this is the Parks Department we're directly working with.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to highlight that.
Joe.
So
Thank you.
Commissioners,
Just one quick question about, just since you mentioned it, I would love to know how the separation of, like that, the work that you're saying has to be done to ensure that the potable supply is not, I don't know if you're worried about an interconnection or maybe it's the public not knowing to, or being told not to drink certain water, or what has to be done that costs the $70,000 just for
Yeah,
my and the public's education?
It's a separation of the two systems. When we built the pipeline, we did a double check valve and an air gap. And what I mean by the air gap is physically remove a spool of pipe. But we're going to take it even one step further, and we're going to completely separate this. So when the potable comes into the park, we're going to take it directly to the bathroom and the drinking water fountains. And when the reuse comes in, right now there's a connection between the two.
And there won't be in the,
We're just
not-
we'll eliminate all
yeah,
possibility
okay.
There's also a kitchen at the
Yes.
at the
visitor
community-
building there.
River House, yeah. So this is just complete, no human air, complete separation. Right now, there's this spool that needs to be put in and check valves, but this is a complete 100% guarantee that there won't be any mixing of the two. Yep.
Just like with, at least the city of Beaverton, they have a purple pipe program down at South Cooper Mountain.
Yep.
So separate supply just for irrigation.
Yep.
Commissioner Director Treese.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, this is great news, and thank you for bringing this work forward after many years, as you talked about. My question might be more directed at Joe, but Jared, jump in here. How are we going to tell this story? How are we going to promote this story to our community?
Well, two things come to mind. I think Jared had mentioned we're working with communication staff at the city of Hillsborough to put their communication to their residents about this pilot program. So they will be certainly doing some storytelling to their community, and then we at CWS will be doing it across our service area because we want other partners. So I think we both will be telling the story once all the work is done this spring, and just get the word out because we are looking for additional partners, as Jared said. So,
Well, and my question really is how can we get the biggest bang for the buck here? And is there potential media interest in this type of thing? How can we have a party to make sure that this happens? And
Yeah, I've often suggested to Hillsborough, we need to celebrate this.
yes,
And there's not a specific event that they have at the park, or I've been pitching to them. Let's own and be proud and celebrate this accomplishment. The last thing I want to do is sort of just ostrich.
correct.
And that's we're having meetings with their communication people and trying to figure out what that looks like. So we don't have a clear plan on that, but our comms people are meeting with their comms people, and we're working on that. I'm going to be real hesitant to do the irrigation without some sort of formal celebration and acknowledgement to the public that we're doing it. You're invited.
Is there, on that point, is there some more targeted effort to your point about being close to our facilities? I hope the team is looking at what is near. I mean, like Tigard High School clearly is near a facility. Cook Park is.
Yeah, we do those.
Okay, you're already doing those.
Yeah, Jason.
But is there more effort being done though, looking at what is around and therefore what would be opportunity?
We've been on a 1.5-year journey on Recycle Water Master Plan. 3 things really coming out of that. It's a 10-year CIP. Evaluation tool, which allows me to look at the value for recycled water for clean water services, looking at the thermal benefits versus the cost. And that's associated with what I refer to as a heat map, where we look at potential opportunities, and it's literally a map that's got heat looking at where the opportunities are. Because sometimes I have a user way far away that's an expensive pipeline, but if I can connect folks along the way, and it makes it pencil. So I've got the tools now to make a very educated decision on where we should go, what are potential partners, and I use that to basically build projects and connect dots. Convince leadership to hedge our bet a little bit right now, and sometimes we might have to build something down here in anticipation of hooking up to it down the road. But that's all done, vetted through this tool and understanding of what the value for clean water services. And when I say the value, it's versus our alternatives of cooling towers and chillers and sort of those non-environmental friendly, high energy intensive ways to handle our thermal load as well. So this is a robust tool. I'm really proud of the modeling that's been done behind it, and it would identify things to your your question, Jason, of where should we go, what makes sense, and where can we get the most bang for the buck. So I've got a pretty good roadmap, 5 to 10 years, and I'm pretty excited about it. And the numbers I showed with the amount of reuse that we need to do, I feel pretty confident we're going to get there. And I do think Hillsborough, I'm doing a project with Tualatin right now. Tigers have been a huge champion. Once these partners start doing these pilot projects and start doing next projects, it's going to be rain and reuse.
So the
in this.
2 to 15 MGD is not,
That's a lot of land.
yeah, but it's not a wild idea. Like you think you can deliver on that. That's fabulous.
Yep.
The other thing I would mention, Jared mentioned how important partnership is. So Hillsborough, who's excited about this project, connected us with the Hillsborough School District. They were having a side conversation about water costs, and they said, hey, have you talked to Clean Water Services about their reuse program? We're doing this at Woodbridge Park. Well, they happen to have a couple schools in close proximity to Rock Creek. So Jared is having conversations about how to make that work. So we have partners that are speaking on our behalf. I bring to mind the city of Cornelius. So Peter Brandom, their city manager, used to work at Hillsborough, was working as the sustainability manager, was very excited about this project. Every time I see Peter is, when am I getting reuse in Cornelius, Joe? So I know Cornelius would like to see reuse come to their community as well. And that gets back to what Director Treese, we have to tell this story multiple times on multiple levels.
Yeah, Cornelius has a very large park near Echo Shaw
Yes.
Elementary School that they can't afford to irrigate in the summer, and it's a very well-used park for a lot of community activities. I think toward the conversation you were just having, the value propositions for the partner cities or partner school districts is that it does reduce their costs of buying water for irrigation purposes, but also for the cities, it reduces their future need for having to buy new water supplies and put in the infrastructure for all of that drinking water capacity. So,
Our communities do value green landscapes in the summer, and this is what I refer to as, the fit for purpose, right? What is the intended use, and what is the right quality water, and recycled water and landscape irrigation are a match made in heaven.
so Director Ridley, I wasn't trying to get to my comments, rather just close all the points on that prior conversation. So Director Willie, do you have any questions or comments?
The only comment is I love this program, and it has a lot of upside. To use a golf analogy, about a chip shot from Woodbridge Park over the Tualatin River is another golf course, Meriwether. Seems to me that would be an automatic. Are you in conversation with them?
Oh, they have been for a while.
Yeah, I am. And when we built the pipeline to the reserve, we put a T in there, pointing towards Meriwether in anticipation of us going underneath the river and servicing them. We have been talking to them for quite some time, both on a riparian shade program benefit and a recycled water benefit. So yes, thank you for that. I'm working on that one. I would say golf courses are the Shangri-La for recycled water in the urban environment, and that is I haven't not talked to a golf course in the Tualatin Basin. I've talked to them all.
Well, and I would
All right.
just,
Well, great job on that. Sorry. Go
Thank you,
ahead.
Jerry.
I'm
No,
sorry.
Great comment.
no rush, sorry about that. I just want to thank you not only for this work to date, particularly through our partners, but also to the benefit of our ratepayers, for those of our partners. But I recall that before Director Snyder joined us on the board, we had the benefit of having Jared come in and present about water reuse, and that's where I recall the work around Meriwether Golf Course and other properties. So you've been working it. I know you'll continue to work it. You two are incredible champions for our agency and the kind of work that is underway to try and serve our ratepayers, businesses, residents, and the river. So Thank you very much for the work. Greatly appreciate it. Keep up the good work. And without further ado, I would ask for a motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement with the City of Hillsborough for Rood Bridge Park recycled water connection.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please vote by raising your hand or saying aye. Thank you, directors. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously 4-0. Next, we'll move on to director announcements. I have two different items I'd like to share. First is due to some health situation that I'm continuing to encounter with my heart. We have an upcoming trip for CWS, a board member and staff, to participate in the National Association of Clean Water Agencies, or NACWA, fly-in Washington, D.C. Those meetings happen April 14th through the 16th. We discussed this during our Washington County Board work session because I'm not able to go any longer. And so it means that if we have another director go, just like if it had been me, you would miss that Tuesday set of meetings, but also depending upon when you need to fly, you would miss the Washington County Budget Committee orientation meeting that we're expected to be at, which is why we've discussed it in both forums. So I've put the bug in the board's ear, and we'll come back to it next week with regard to who it works out for to make sure that we've closed on that. Then the other thing I would like to do before opening the floor is make the future meeting announcements. So on Tuesday, March 10th, we'll have a Clean Water Services Board of Directors meeting starting at 9 a.m. Then we'll go with appropriate work session after that. Then on Tuesday, March 17th, we have our other Clean Water Services Board of Directors meeting, our evening meeting, just like tonight, starting at 5:30. There will not be any board meetings for either agency on Tuesday, March 24th, due to public school spring break here. And so that's just the advance notice for our meetings coming up in March. Are there any other Board of Director announcements for this evening? Okay, seeing none, do we have a motion to adjourn tonight's edition of the Clean Water Services Board of Directors meeting?
Move for adjournment.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please vote by raising your hand or saying aye. Thank you, directors. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously 4-0. And we'll see everyone back here at 6:30 for the Washington County Board of Commissioners business meeting. Thank you. Good night.